December 16th, 2024. December has been moving fast, but at the same time, feels like at least for the recent few days, a lot has happened. And big, profound shifts, I think, in my life trajectory are being solidified. Let me explain. A few days ago, I think almost exactly a week ago, it was exactly a week ago. It was December 7th, December 8th. I had this dream moment that I wanted to do. I had this dream lifestyle that I wanted to pursue and travel the world. As of the recent few days, Matthew and I have been out of alignment. I'd say up until yesterday, last night. Because I don't think I've been truthful with myself and with him. I haven't expressed either as often enough or just clear enough to Matthew that this is what I rather want. It was a discrepancy between $50K a month and growing Clive just to hit that number, and the freedom I thought $50K a month would buy. The discrepancy is Matthew thought I wanted this. For the last 4 months, we've been telling ourselves that's what we're working towards. But I think deeply inside, it's been reflecting through my actions, through my emotions as well. And that's not at all what I want. Not at all what I want, but it's not clearly what I wanted. What I really wanted was the freedom, the financial, time, and location freedom. That I thought back then $50K a month would buy. But based on our current profit and revenue numbers and the amount we're taking home, I've already calculated that if we maintain 20K a month in revenue, with maybe 10K of that being overhead that we have to pay, we can sustain a lifestyle where once a month we can travel anywhere in the world and book an Airbnb and live abroad wherever we want. And we can manage our schedules in a way that's conducive to that lifestyle, manage our routines, manage our habits. Like, we can start programming that today. It's not more revenue, but it's a question of how profitable can we be every month, and can we maintain our income to be more than our expenses. By definition, that's at least how I define financial freedom, which is Financial freedom is your income being more than your expense rate. And if you can maintain that consistently, then by definition, you're financially free. Now, there's nuance to this because obviously month to month, our expenses and our profit and our income will vary. And then you also have like taxes and unexpected costs and emergencies, things that you can account for, right? So more or less, there's going to be a range between what you can comfortably maintain with your income that will cover your expense rate, taxes, and like emergency costs, right? As long as you have a buffer, however big that buffer should be, it would depend on each person. But as long as this buffer exists and is consistently maintained for as long as possible, then by definition, you are financially free. And the thing is, we don't need a lot of money to be financially free. Financial freedom can come to the high school dropout who doesn't have to pay rent or food and doesn't have any overhead in his business. He can make $10K a month and profit $10K a month. Just think about that. That kid is like, he's financially free. Now, is he time and location free? That's another question, right? But nature of online entrepreneurship and Matthew and I's jobs is that location wise, yeah, you'll always be location independent. As long as you have a place where you can maintain internet connection, right? And then the time aspect is we can program our schedules in a way where how many hours do we want to be working per week? How many hours do we want to be doing the things we want to be per week? Right? If we only want to be working 20 hours a week, then the rest of like 100 hours of your waking time like could be spent, obviously eating, sleeping, pooping, whatever. But accounting for all of that, like, you just have to reverse engineer how much time we need to allocate towards the life that we want. And for me, Matthew and I talked about this very deeply last night, where first of all, I got that off my chest, how it was hard since Matt has been pushing himself very, very hard, and a little bit self-driven is what he admitted to. A little bit came from pride. But he needed to hit 50K. And that was his main goal. But I told him the discrepancy, and it was hard. But at least now we're on the same page, and I was able to get the information out in the open. But then we realized, like, what is the life that we really want? What do we really want? Still, to an extent, maybe it'd be different for Matthew and I, but for me, it's to live a freedom lifestyle. It's not to be bound by financial, time, or location limitations. That I can go wherever, whenever I want or choose. other very significant thing over the past few days, past few weeks, is that my heart has never been more aligned to God in my life. I've never felt more led by the Spirit to take delight in praying and honoring and living my life for God. I've been reading the Bible more than I've ever before, but I get excited every single time I open that book. It's incredible. It's this anticipatory enthusiasm, excitement that I have around just reading the Bible, and it's an amazing feeling. And so what do I really want? I just want to abide in Christ. I want to live my life for Christ. I want to use my body, use my mind, use my intentions, my soul, my actions, my thoughts, the way God originally intended me to do. I'm doing this twice now. Jesus, is this guy pulling me out? That's such a weird ambulance. And like, what I look forward to more every day is just to have a slow morning, go outside and read a book, to not have any obligations or thoughts, intrusive thoughts or noise in my head that is bothering me, but I can live at peace and with not a lot of pressure. Just like enjoy my morning and go on a walk out in nature. And the wealthiest person is the man who wakes up with the least pressure on his chest, right? When I understand that, I don't think my goal, at least in this point in my life, is to make as much money as I can. And I know that sounds like, maybe to some people, a bit backwards. Like, shouldn't you be working as hard as possible so you can, make as much money as possible so you can, build your foundation for the future and etc. But what does a man gain, or what does a man profit if he gains the whole world but loses his own soul? The wealth, the kingdoms, the women, the fame. King Solomon had it all. He said, it's all vanity. How can I apply that wisdom? How can I apply that knowledge into my life? Everything is vanity, including the money that you make and like what you do. You only have one life, so wouldn't you rather live it the way you wanted it to? I don't see myself as this big, CEO, entrepreneur that's making billions of dollars a year with a big team, big employees. see myself living a simple, nomadic, humble life. I think my intentions will change in different periods and different chapters, right? Like, for example, when I start a family, I think at that point money is going to be very, very important, especially when I have those I care for and take care of. But if this is my ultimate why, is to live this ultimate nomadic lifestyle, this freedom lifestyle, I call it, do I need to be making X amount and be working X amount? Is that going to be conducive to why I'm doing all of this? I think the past 4 months it's been out of alignment, because the answer to that is no. Like, based on my actions, I've been working for a different goal. I could start living that life next month. Book a week trip to Costa Rica. Book an Airbnb for a week and same time zone, nice weather, go on hikes in the evenings, have things planned, go on walks on the beach, explore a jungle, hike some mountain. But I get to live this nomadic adventure. So I asked Matthew, help me clarify this yesterday, but he's like, Elijah, why do you want to travel? And we kind of were slow at first, because I was like, I want to travel because I want to learn through traveling. And it's like answering the definition of a word by using the word itself. So it didn't make sense. But here's what I came down to, right? Why do you want to travel, Elijah? I think where it comes from was this deep, insatiable desire and interest in exploration and adventure. My two most favorite games growing up as a kid that I played were Minecraft and Pokemon. I love these games because of the new world and adventure you get to explore every time you start a new game or you start a new world. I love the feeling you get when in Minecraft you set out on an adventure to gather resources, to gather new knowledge, new mobs, and then you get to bring your resources and craft things and build your base and make cool things at your base. I love both aspects of that game. And it's almost your own world. It's like you get to create whatever your mind sets out to do. And in Pokemon, I love like the aspect of, obviously there's a storyline but there's so much adventure and side quests and obviously the adventure of catching all the Pokemon. I love these games, and I think that's what stemmed my desire for almost a novelty adventure interest. I think that's what sparked all of this. And additionally, like, me just dreaming about visiting these grand nature places around the world, wondrous works of the world, and appreciating them, because I love being in nature. I'm drawn by nature as well. Why are you naturally drawn to nature, Elijah? It's quiet. It's a space to think as well. Because when I think about it too, like in the beginning of my journey, I always went on outside walks, and I enjoyed those so deeply, like more than you can think. I love just going outside, taking $100 million offers and sitting on a bench about a mile down from my neighborhood, and there's this little park bench spot, and I just sit there with my shirt off, and it's cool, like November morning, perfect weather for having your shirt off, and it was sunny. I just sat there and read, and I meditated, and I just thought about my life, and it's just so quiet and peaceful. And I love the aspect of being around trees and nature and that. And maybe that's where it stemmed from. But I want to have that in more in different places around the world, in more different environments, to learn and experience new things. That's what drives me. And the other thing is, I was mentioning how I've been closer to God as well. More than anything as well, I'm driven by my love for God. How on that video, I said, why do I want to have this moment and travel and stuff, which I think now I've clarified it's more for the exploration part. But at the same time, I told myself it's because I have a love for God and I want to experience Him in a new way. I think I kind of drove that answer, or forced that answer out of me, to have some sort of connection to traveling and God. And I can still glorify God in any way, in anything I do. And I think that's one way to do it, but I don't think that was my original intention. I think it came from, because I had this desire before I gave my life to Christ a few months ago. I had this desire. I think it came from an innate want to explore and have adventures, gather resources, gather new networks, to learn new perspectives. That's where it stems from. But at the same time, I see myself honoring my life for God and building His kingdom, because I'm more motivated over my desire to travel. I'm more motivated than anything to serve God. And if what the Bible says as well, to serve others is part of that, to love your neighbor as yourself, and I will do that as well. And I think maybe a part of this travel that I can incorporate that will bring so much fulfillment is if I could incorporate traveling with maybe some sort of ministry or mission trip, or way that I can preach the gospel and Bible and the wisdom that it holds, and help build my relationship with people, with Christ, and help them build their relationship with Christ. I think that would be like very fulfilling. Last night I went on my knees and I surrendered everything to the Lord, to God. I was like, God, I surrender my life to you. I surrender my body, my thoughts, my beliefs, my business, my relationships. To have complete faith in you and to follow you. More than anything, I want to follow Him. I'm willing to give up everything tomorrow to follow Him. My entire life will go behind me if I see Jesus calling me to do something. I said, wherever you lead, I will follow. Show me where to go, and I will come. Show me the way, the truth, in the life. You know how what I heard or what I saw after that was actually nothing. I didn't get some like, loud voice in my head or some, even like a feeling or anything, but I also repented before that. I was like, God, I repent for my sins, for being untruthful to Matthew, for causing him so much pain. I think that did some spiritual internal shift when I did that. And I think I still have yet to see what that will look like, but yeah, that's kind of a summary of what's been happening lately. Like, I'm considering why did I start Clive in the first place, Why am I growing this business? Was my original intention to honor God? To build the business for myself? For selfish intentions? And I think that can change. So then I asked myself the question, how can I honor God in everything that I do, including working on my business? The way that I speak to people, the way that I learn, the way that I think, the way that I am, my character, my identity. How can I honor God? I think getting closer to the answer and the truth, to true fulfillment, is to live your life for God. I need to put more thought into this, but yeah, in summary, I've been out of alignment with Matthew the past couple of days. Last night we got our free flow of information out in the open, and we came to understand each other. Very emotional, but we now understand our intentions and goals a bit clearer. We also got clear on what it would take to live a lifestyle that would entail traveling and sustaining our business for that, be maintaining financial, time and location independence and freedoms. Last night I repented to God, prayed to God, and surrendered everything to God again, to follow Him, to show me the way, the truth, and the life. We're going to see how it goes. Now, moving forward, in everything that I do, I'll do it to glorify God and to honor Him, and to have reverence for Him, fear of the Lord, for that is the beginning of wisdom. So, yeah, Elijah Kim, December 16th, 2024. Peace.